So here we are at the front veranda. Look at the view in the background, right? You see the beach? The old date palm. So let's have a look inside. Oh, it's so cool, that breeze. Oh, that's beautiful down here. I just walked up that hill and it's hot. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking kombucha. Oh, now I thought last time I was here that this still was set up, but it's obviously not. Look at the roof. Look at the type of timber that they used on the ceiling. Ooh, she looks dodgy. Dodgy. Oh, the roof keeps falling in. It's a big old fireplace. Look at that. I wonder why that's like that. It's interesting. That's obviously the front door. A room. Oh, they've had electricity in here. Maybe they were going to do something and then decided not to. This must have been a pantry or something. I wonder what they did with that. Let's go upstairs and have a look. Oh, that breeze is beautiful. Look at the pavement. Isn't that nice? What a shame it's just not doing anything. Let's go up here and have a look. Somebody obviously comes and sits. Yes, I think we'll sit up here and do a reading. It's beautiful. Hot but beautiful. We'll go in there and have a look. If the door's open around the back, that looks like it might be open there. Steps on that side as well. Look at the castle type top. Oh, we're not allowed in that bit by the looks. Right, let's see if we can open this door. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's cool in here. Oh, it's nice. Oops. Slammed the door like a spooky movie, right? Sandford house. Oh, they have repaired it a bit from that. The man man of enterprise and a lasting influence at Linton. Sandford House. Assistant Superintendent of the Convict Depot. Imposing Georgian residence. Pioneering pastoral, agricultural, mining and horse breeding and whale pursuits. Established at Port Gregory. Younger son of aristocratic English background, Sandford came to Port Gregory in 1852 after exploring the Murchison region with explorer and survivor A.C. Gregory. By early 1853, he had obtained leasehold of 48,000 acres surrounding Linton town site, and later that year purchased 150 acres as the homestead block. Horses numbering over 100 were bred mainly for the Indian Army. The Indian Army, that's interesting. While farming aimed to meet the demand for food at the mines. Whaling proved to have great potential, though his partnerships in the enterprise were sometimes challenging. Linton Cottage, situated close to the barn and stables, was built as a temporary residence. His role at Port Gregory was the convict hiring depot. Superintendent Sandford was the chief officer of the convict depot until his resignation in 1854, so it wasn't very long, a year, while in the position of Linton Homestead, now often known as Sandford House, was built. Ticket of leaves, convicts seeking employment result in small numbers of residents at the so these were the convicts with the tickets of leave. Reduce operational costs and partly explains the slow progress made in erecting the depot buildings in 1853. However, there is no evidence to support rumours of inhumane treatment of the depot under his administration. Character. Somewhat impetuous disposition, Sandford resigned his position at the depot when accused of using government resources to further his own enterprises. Let's do a reading on Linton, shall we? Or Sandford. Sandford? Where's his whole name? Yeah. Captain Henry Ashford Sandford, before departing. That's him there. Sandford. Henry Ashford Sandford. Henry Ashford Sandford. Henry Ashford Sandford. Whew. Restoration progress. Oh, this must be his family. Oh, look at shouldn't put that there. Oh, they've got a servant. Wow. Shipwreck in Port Gregory Harbour. Shipwrecks of the Geraldton region. There's plenty. I wonder if I could have seen that one that I did the other day of that man. Now, where was I? Down at Dongra. That was much earlier, though, than these type of ships. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, the one that I picked up in my reading was much older. Unidentified wreck. There. And I was below. Yeah, it could have been around there. But this is saying 1861, but sighted in 1861. That might have been it. That's about where I was too. Yeah. So there we go. I'm going to have to take a picture of that. Anyway, let's go and do a reading. We'll sit on the veranda. Wow, this is a big whalebone here. I don't know what part of the bone. It's obviously the backbone of some part. We have a turtle shell. This must be the port. Oh, got the light shining on it, you can't see it. Whew, hot. We'll go out on the veranda because we'll get a bit of breeze. Getting lost. What's his name again? Henry Sandford. I wonder what that is there for. Maybe supplies to go down to the kitchen or something like that. Looks like a water tank up there. I don't know, puffing and carrying on. It was only when I walked up that hill, it's only because it's so hot. So I think the table and chair over here are in the sun. I wonder if they'd mind if I just moved it over a little bit, and I'll put it back when I'm done. Or I could sit on the floor. No, I'll lose my cards. Just give us a moment. Oh, look, I'm facing you at the wall. Look. Okay. Oh, I'm sweating like anything. Shit. It's okay. I can deal with it. Oh, I can't get my phone to deal with it, but oh my goodness, that'll have to do, right? Oop. There is a nice breeze up here, like when. Well, maybe I could put it with the bag if I put these out. Oh look, there's my gold coin. I'll be able to put that in for a donation. Let's get the how's that? Got my kombucha. I'll drink it before it gets cold, hot. All right. Let's start with the indigenous ones. That the servant that they had there in that photograph looked like African person. They didn't really look Aboriginal. They might have been. I mean, you know, Australian Aboriginal. What did they say? Nana. The Nana people. Nana? Nana. N-A-N. Nanda? D-A. Nanda. Now, I read something about the Nanda. I'll have to check their artifacts because that's something I'm going to be doing, showing you in the next few days. Some things. Okay, Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestor. Holy Ancestor. I said ancestor. A as in one. Who we got here? Who's here? What do we need to know? Kangaroo plum. Honesty. Where's this coming from? It's a number 7. The bogone moth. Safety. What else is here, Spirit? Bogone moth is here again. I've shuffled it. Safety. We'll take that. It's in a safe place. Didn't we say he was a Captain Sandford was a just person, because he was looking after the tickets of leave convicts, so the people that have their tickets of leave, and giving them employment. Lena, gratitude. So somebody has gratitude here. Honesty, safety, and gratitude. That's great. Contentment. Brenda Bella. Somebody was content. That's awesome. Acceptance is in reverse. Alinta, acceptance. Luana, and wisdom. So somebody didn't accept something. I'll take that one. Okay. Honesty, safety, gratitude, contentment, but no acceptance. So somebody wasn't fully accepted. Let's see what our crows have got to say. Who's here, Spirit? I feel really comfortable. There wasn't any profit being made. A hierophant for the officials, for the establishment. But somebody was content here. The establishment didn't want to accept something. We have an empress and a hangman in reverse. Somebody with a different perspective. Somebody's got a different perspective of a empress. Or maybe that was just me seeing, what was her name? Oh, Anna, in the King and I. Maybe that was her, because I just seen a different perspective of her. I didn't know that she was here. That's interesting. She was content. Safety. Not cut out. Safety. Safety was not compromised. For the general, King of Swords, the magician. The magician, Sandford, because he's the manifestor, right? Who is the Captain Sandford? We have a King of Swords in reverse. Somebody here, though, with no integrity. A Knight of Wands. So there's a Knight of Wands floating around with no integrity in the establishment. Investing. Truth. And a Wheel of Fortune. Establishing the truth in the Wheel of Fortune. Somebody had no integrity and they were being like impulsive. Seven of Swords, impulsive. So I wonder who this is. Could be a Leo, not that that's relevant when we're talking about history. Apart from if somebody knows. This is giving me, that in and out energy, the impulsive energy. Impulsive. Stubborn. Somebody didn't want any conflict with this person. For contentment. Damn. Someone waiting for the ships to come in. It's a port, right? Ten of Swords in reverse. The Devil's here. Someone was content in not lovers. Trapping someone. Because look, this must be the convicts. Partnership with the convicts. The chains. A contentment with the Ten of Swords. Yeah. So this was, although these people were convicts and bound, there was contentment and partnership. But something wasn't accepted. There must have been rumours about some negativity with this Knight of Wands. This could be what the deception is. That he was not just person. And he was manifesting this King of Swords in reverse, manifesting this person with no integrity. But that can be what the deception is, because we've got convicts here that are content and with no Ten of Swords is in their back. And they're in partnership, although they were bound. Because even though they were in tickets of leave, they're still bound by employment and, survival, you know what I mean? Like, they still had to work and find a way, because, if you just become a free person after being a convict, what do you do out here? What do you do? You'd have to have so this Sandford person was the overseer for those tickets of leave people. And they're saying here that he was honest, it was safe for them, and they had gratitude and they were content. But somebody didn't accept this, and it could have been a partner. Maybe somebody... a different perspective of this Queen of Empress. So this could be something to do with this Empress who didn't want to be cut out. But there's a new perspective here. Someone waiting for their ships to come in. Tell us about this Knight of Wands. The Page of Wands in reverse. This is a lie. There's a lie here. This Empress? Who is this Empress? Clarify this Empress. Out in the cold. Somebody being left out in the cold. Oh, maybe that's that. Oh, someone's biting me. What is that? This Empress. Maybe it was that slave in the picture. Slave or servant? What's the difference? Got Ace of Wands in reverse, so somebody didn't have a new beginning. Death, it wasn't over. They had to make a decision of the Two of Wands. A King of Wands in reverse. A King of Cups in reverse. Wow. No new beginning. Something was over. And this was justice. Oh. There was illusions about a new beginning for a King of Cups in reverse and a King of Wands in reverse. It wasn't over. There was a decision made, but somebody said it was justice. Something not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, well, how could they? They're out here. How could they go anywhere? I can put my glasses on. My funky cheap glasses. Ugh. I know they're not very nice, I don't think. But anyway, whatever. So somebody was left out in the cold, and it looks like this Empress. Now, regardless of gender, it can be a man in a feminine energy, a wounded warrior. This has given me a convict. Not over, death, and no conflict. So, yeah, they were willing to work, because what other choice did they have when you're out here? Do you think maybe they purposely shipped him out here and said, here's your ticket of leave, but you're going to have to work for us because you've got nothing else you can do? But this Sandford person was a fair player. I said player, right? Honest. It was safe. there was a lie. What is the lie? This deception. That something would end, but it didn't. Yeah. So they were under the impression that, yeah, they were going to be free, but they weren't. Because what other option would they have than to not work for them? You know? The Magician, the King of Swords in reverse. Now, what did we have else? Didn't we had a King of Wands in reverse and a King of Cups in reverse? They may have been the convicts in question. Left out in the cold. King of Swords and the Magician. The establishment. The authorities. Although there was contentment, there was no Ten of Swords, this is still devil energy. And it's still a binding, like a binding contract. And somebody couldn't accept this partnership. What is this, the devil? Temperance came out in sideways, and it landed on the Eight of Swords. You know, the binding, tempered. You know, it would, the temperance would be that, you know, set free, right? You know, tempered binding. Tickets of leave, right? But it's sideways. It's not like a real freedom. And wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups. It's not. That's why we've got the devil with the Ten of Swords in reverse. They had to be content with the same work that they were doing as slaves, as convicts. Wow. It wasn't over, see? Death in reverse. It wouldn't end. It just never ended. It was just work and work and work. And out here in this heat, and they would have cleared all this land, you know, like it would have been all shrubs and bushes and, you know, some larger trees, but not much. It's mostly shrubs and bushes around here. There would have been a few bigger trees, but not much. And so for wish fulfillment here. Okay, so they were content that they did have enough, you know, food supplies. They would have been able to generate enough food in that here. I mean, they would have fishing, and, you know, they would have had stock, chickens, you know, like would have had enough food. They would have been growing food. There was water. They didn't say there was abundance of water, but they did have water, didn't they? Okay, temperance in the sideways. A Queen of Swords. Could have been the wife. With the Lovers here. Couldn't accept it. Maybe this wife couldn't accept that this is what was happening to these people. There's a victory here, though, with the Six of Wands. And no heartbreak. But we have the Moon here. So something was done in the background. The family in reverse, or past. The past holding back money. So they would have got paid resources. So that's the resources. Okay, the Lovers, clarify the Lovers, please, Spirit. Yeah. The Ace of Pentacles. So they got paid. yeah, I suppose that's the difference between being a convict and being a employed as a ticket of leave person. I called them ticket of leaves. Well, there's still a label, right? Free man, 3 of cups. It's a celebration. Truth. This is the truth. This is the Wheel of Fortune. They got paid. But we have a high priestess in reverse. Why is this high priestess here in reverse with a Knight of Cups? That crow was interrupting. A Knight of Cups. The high priestess. Cup of love. An apology. High priestess in reverse. See, somebody's sad. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. New beginning. So they were given a new beginning. So who was it that couldn't accept this? This Queen of Swords. A star. What's something to do with the teacher? The star. Clarify the star. The Hermit. Going within. Isolation. I couldn't accept the isolation. Family. Isolated from family. Missed opportunity with family. This is the truth. So that's what they couldn't accept. Or this woman couldn't accept the isolation and the missed opportunity. This is giving me that lady, that Anna. The one in The King and I, that story. So she was a teacher. The star. Bound. Wouldn't accept the binding to this lovers situation. Well, that doesn't mean like lovers. It means, you know, it can be just a partnership, like in work. Because somebody was paid a new beginning to go within. But this isolation was an issue, and being isolated from family and missing the opportunity. What was it, missing the opportunity? What did they say in there? Missed the opportunity of working with. She was trying to start a girls' school, was it, in Perth? And came here, and then went from here to Singapore or Thailand. That's who this is. Because she couldn't accept the isolation. And being away from that family think it was just too isolated here. So that's this part of the reading. But over here is more to do with the contentment of the convicts, or ticket of leave convicts, the honesty, the safety, and the gratitude and contentment that they had. But it was still not kind of fair. And that's what this person over here couldn't accept, right? So she didn't want to be here and part of that. Because of isolation. But what was this lie over here? This deception. I think the deception was that they're tickets of leave workers, but they had nowhere they could work. And this Empress was here because she was left out in the cold from whatever it was going on in Perth. Left out in the cold. Wounded warrior. New perspective. A Knight of Wands with a new perspective. Judgment. Somebody's under judgment. Why are we picking this up? Because somebody's not accepting. Is that why we've got this non-acceptance here? So this person is not accepting this honesty, safety, gratitude, contentment. I can smell it. So I feel that she was offered all those things. Okay, so the Seven of Swords and the Two of Swords with the Four of Swords. Did I say there was lies? Some sort of lies. That's a beautiful breeze, just light. Not this fucking wind. I just want a nice light breeze, please. So the Magician. Illusions. It was an illusion. So the honesty, safety, gratitude and contentment was an illusion that somebody wasn't going to accept. Hierophant. King of Wands in reverse. Arrogance. Somebody was arrogant. So somebody here is arrogant with no integrity, and they caused illusions. And there was backstabbing and lies. But who's this about and what? My money. It was over. The money was over. So whoever this was, I think this is our Sandford man. Didn't want to pay them. They said there was no money, it was over, that they weren't making any money. The guard is down. There's no sunshine here. Well, there's plenty of sunshine, but you know what I mean. No happiness. So it was kind of like you work for your keep, basically. That's it. Because he was saying that there was illusions here. This person was arrogant. Illusions here that there was no money being made. So he didn't want to pay them. Only in, security, safety, somewhere to live, somewhere to be, somewhere to sleep. So they had to work for it. That's what they did to the Aboriginal people too, right? It was like you earn your keep, you get fed, and that's it. You might get some shelter. That's what that place was, right? That first building we went to. Hello, Titty Titty. That's what that building was. What did they say? They had beds in there. So that was their shelter. And so they told them there wasn't any money. And they just had to work for nothing. But their accommodation and a safe place to be. So where did this lead, Spirit? Tell us about this devil energy, and what is this devil with the Ten of Swords in reverse? So it's like, oh no, don't tell me it's gone down there. This is the High Priestess in reverse. Well, this could have had something to do with the woman. Because we've got the Empress over here. Didn't want to be left out in the cold. Wounded warrior. I feel she was jealous or something. A High Priestess. Devil energy. An apology. Oh, this is the offer. Sadness. They're just like, ugh. Somebody knocked in there. They knocked in the building. There's no one here. High Priestess. She's in reverse. Sadness. This is no contract. This is no partnership. Investment. Knight of Swords. Nothing coming. Page. Poverty. Nothing coming in. Poverty. Nine of Cups. It's not over. With the Nine of Cups, this is abundant wish fulfillment. It's not over. So that was the lie, that there was no money. And I feel that's why that Anna didn't want to stay. Am I right? She was honest. She was a star, but isolated. New beginning, pay. So it's like a part bondage, you know, like a part binding for this Queen of Swords. Partial bondage. It's a nice cool breeze. Tell us, Spirit, what's going on here? Got this offer. This is an apology. It's sadness. Brindabella, contentment. Brindabella. I'm picking up, this is that lady in the picture. The servant. Safety, gratitude and contentment. But not accepting that because she wasn't free, so she was sad. I feel her sadness. And the isolation from family, that's her. A partial freedom. Because we do have the Ace of Pentacles here with the Ace of Wands, a star, family, missed opportunity, isolation. So yeah, where did she come from? That was her isolation. Can you imagine being a black woman having to just look after this privileged white family and be cut off from the rest of your own people? It's these crows. But we don't know where she was from. You hearing the crows? Yeah. Is that the family, Spirit? Is that the family? Ooh, ooh, did that not want to fly out? Look, King of Cups. Wow, that's emotional. With this apology. And this strength. Messages, strength, sadness. Yep, we got it right. That's her family. The King of Cups, please, Spirit. Oh, this King of Cups, someone not broken-hearted. But this is emotional. What? This might be an overseer here. We've got those High Priestess. What is this? Three of Swords in reverse. Money. Work. Yeah, it was all about the money. Six of Pentacles and the work. Eight of Pentacles. No sunshine when she's gone. And no sunshine when she's away. Boom, boom, boom. And the sunshine when it's gone. And she's always gone too long. Every time she goes away. Yeah. Who is this? A Knight of Pentacles. An offer. Who's making this offer to whom? No burden. Somebody's offering somebody no burden. This could be going back to this Annie. Or Anna. She a mistress. Poverty. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Poverty. Guard down. Yeah, putting somebody into poverty and then making the offer. That's a reoccurring. To get a victory. No choice, right? No remorse. Major Tower. Now that wanted to go out sideways. Somebody was in regrets. Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to get moving soon. The sun's going down. I've got to find somewhere to camp. King of Pentacles in reverse. Why is this person in reverse? This is a convict. Who's this then? Because they're in poverty. Queen of Wands. A King of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands in reverse. Somebody might have been doing some sort of black magic under the moon. Page of Cups. Could be love magic to get a victory. With an Emperor. Not over. Somebody seducing somebody. Somebody seducing somebody in the dark. Ace of Cups. This could have been a mistress. Somebody who was unstable. There was a mistress unstable. Not going anywhere. No Chariot. Because they had no Chariot. There's two of them. So this could be in a couple. King of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands in reverse. In poverty. Been given an offer by an Emperor. Not over. Victory. Page of Cups. Moon. Ace of Cups. Someone unstable. Money. This is taking advantage of somebody's situation all round. This is the convicts and the slaves. Or slave. You either call them a slave or you call them a servant. What is the difference? somebody who's only getting paid enough to eat and to have a roof over their head. That's all the offer is. And that just keeps them in poverty and keeps them dependent. So maybe that's what the illusion is that they were treating people right, and they might have been fair and nice or whatever, but really they could have been paying them, you know what I mean? There's no apology here. The star with the King Knight of Cups. Somebody couldn't walk away. See, they couldn't walk away. Where could they go? So pretty much that's the illusion. Moving to calmer waters, no burden. Queen of Pentacles, a Queen of Cups, 2 queens. Moving to calmer waters. Because there was a wife and children as well. No conflict, nothing coming in. Not growing. Knowledge, justice. The establishment is in reverse. So I feel that the teacher that finished up in Thailand, that was her that may have been, she may have been speaking out about this. Because she seems like a righteous person with this Empress here, left out in the cold. She didn't get that job in Perth. She came here to teach the governor's, he was the governor? Children? And then she became discontent, or not accepting that this situation here with the money and this, just accepting the roof over their head and security, right? Being offered a new beginning, but the isolation here is too much. And so these 2 queens left, went to calmer waters. So 2 queens, like, I don't know. Because this is a group broken up, right? This is waiting for ships to come in. Family in reverse. Family again, or group, Sovereign. Someone wanting their sovereignty. They don't want to be juggling their money. I want a new beginning. With an emperor, maybe. The Emperor. The umbrella. The movie. Is not over. We don't know if he, Sandford, did he stay here the whole time? Die here? Victory. Not over. Page of Cups. Moon. A victory. A love offer. But it's, tiny. In the dark. Ace of Cups. Unstable. Oh, threatening instability. This is this. Oh. Regret. This is like Tower. Wheel of Fortune. Sadness. Partnership in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse. Regret. He might have been, seeing someone in the dark. Let me pack these up and I'll just throw a few kipper on it, and then I'm going to have to go because I'm going to have to go. So I've got to get somewhere before it gets dark. I think I've got about 70 k's or something to where I'm going. And I've probably got about 2 hours before dark. Could be 2.5 hours. With the twilight, I want to get somewhere. Right, quickly, a few kipper. So, who is the main players here? Spirit. Who are the main players here? Holy Spirit. Who are the main players? So I feel he was playing the women. Playing the women, meeting, child, no occupation, threatening no occupation, no ending, in court, judgment, court is judgment. Okay, tell us about the meeting, who was in the meeting, and expectation. Someone was expected to. Expected to. Oh, damn. I didn't want to see that. Yeah, poor girl, see? This is the poor girl. Had it bent over the banister. Look. See if she's bending over? That was the rich girl. The poor girl. And that was the office in the dark. And there was a child, small child. Who's a small child? There was a small child. This is the servant, unexpected money. What? Paying. What is this? Occupation in reverse and unexpected money. A long road for a main female. No work. So she got pregnant and had a child. And so she lost her job. He might have given her some money though. Funeral in reverse. Not over. A long road. And then she had a long road. Living room. Oh, a long time. Went on for a long time. It didn't end. It was like endless. And this threatening of no occupation. Court? Why is court here? No chariot. No movement. No help. No getting away. Chariot in reverse. Ooh. Marriage in reverse. And hope. Oh. Hope and marriage in reverse. Hoping it would end with this military person? This official person. No legal matter. There was no help for this person. Yeah, no. She just had to take the gift. The gift. Main male. Take his gift. Oh my God. I didn't think this was going to be sinister. A journey to high honour. Well, he was held in high honour. Journey, high honour. Considered a good lord. I'm being a very good lord, and she's on her knees, begging. And he's considered a good lord. Sick. It's an illness in a house and bad news. Ooh. Is that karma? Somebody gets sick. Bad news. House and illness. The jail. Convicts, right? If I remember correctly, part of a story, we missed it this morning obviously, but I remember something about convicts getting sick. His thoughts and the good lady. Sending someone to jail. This is the husband and wife. His thoughts for a good lady. Unpleasant jail. Unpleasant jail. Good lady. False person. His thoughts. Jail. This is a false person. Did I not say there was a high priestess here in reverse? And I feel it's the wife. Because we've got marriage here in reverse as well. And that's why he's getting it on with the servant. Who's sick though? Murky thoughts. Murky thoughts. Oh God. Money and divorce. Paying someone off. Because we had the Ace of Pentacles. Thief in reverse. Grief. Sad news. No money. Bad luck for a rich man in reverse. Bad luck. So he got bad luck. After that, he got bad luck. So he was cursed. Oh. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you... And I'm sure that came from that servant lady. The servant lady. Tell me about the servant lady. Spirit, specifically. Servant lady. Did I not say? Servant lady. What did she do? She didn't have a child. She didn't have the child. What? Child in reverse. Okay. It died. It didn't die. It died. That wanted to come out sideways, like died but didn't die. Died but didn't die. I'm going to put that sideways. What happened? Journey. What is the journey? So she was sent away. False person in reverse. His thoughts, a good lady. Maybe he cared for her. His thoughts for a good lady. No money. No money. That was the threat. No hope. No money, no hope. Oh.